What's up, everybody? On today's vlog, we're going to be building a drum. Hey, if you love the grill and barbecue, then this is the channel for you. Make sure to smash that subscribe button and ring that bell so you don't miss a thing. Because on today's video, we're going to be showing you exactly how to build a drum. UDS, can, whatever you want to call it. We're going to go step by step, and I got my boy Frank Cox from SmokerBuilder.com coming down to help. Actually, I'm not going to do it. Actually, Wes is going to do it. Wes is going to build the cooker with Frank, and Frank's going to come down and show us and you exactly how to build one of these drums. Extremely fast, extremely efficient, and extremely cheap. Oh, and he said he's got a surprise too for me, which usually when people say that to me, I got my head on a swivel. But I don't know. Kind of got me wondering. He just called me a little bit ago. He said, Kosmo, you gonna be there at the shop? I said, yeah, I'm gonna be here. I'm gonna be the videographer today. He said, I got a surprise for you. And I was like, what is it? He goes, I can't tell you. I'm like, why can't you tell me? He's like, I just can't tell you. So I don't know. Stick along, enjoy the ride, sit back, grab a beer, and let's go to building the drum.
Seen those things?
What you got?
What's that? Smoker Builder.
Hey everybody, this is my boy Frank.
What's up, everybody?
SmokerBuilder.com, link in the description.
Hold on, I feel naked. I don't have my coffee.
You run around with a coffee cup like that?
Dude, that's every day, man.
Your wife's gonna be looking for that.
This is Tom, also SmokerBuilder.com. What's this?
It's a present. Just wait.
We gonna open it now?
No.
Or we gonna build that?
We're gonna build that.
All right.
Yeah, we'll have to come back to that.
All right.
Make you wait.
Yeah, you're gonna make us wait, huh?
It's like Christmas the night before.
Can we shake it?
We just had to
Yeah,
get
you
the
can
Try to
shake it.
decide what it is? We allowed to shake it?
You listening?
Oh, well,
don't
that
shake.
didn't give away very much.
No.
No shake at all.
All right, so Frank and Wes and Tom are gonna build this drum for you guys. Is that a stick burner?
Yes. It is not a stick burner. It's a blanket and some bubble wrap right now.
All right.
Smoker building skills, if there's a ladder, I'm on the bottom rung. Never been up the ladder at all. So for everybody watching and for you, Frank, I know
I remember
nothing.
my first smoker.
All right, so let's get started. Frank is gonna show us all the parts that come in this one, and we'll have the links down in the descriptions where you can get this one or one like it, but all the other ones that these guys sell. All right,
Yeah.
let's jump right into it.
Okay, so we're gonna start with this one here. This is our 16 gauge smooth-sided barrel. It's like the premium barrel everybody wants for their build. We pulled this one out for these guys. They're real heavy and they're clean inside. There's no liner in them. There's no gasket in the lid. You know, you don't have to worry about poison because there wasn't none ever in here. And when you get it, there's going to be a bunch of parts if you bought the barrel from us inside. So the first thing we got here is a thermometer. We like to use these with the 3-inch dial and a 4-inch stem. And there's going to be some kind of a nut on the back side of it, whatever kind you get. And there's an easy place here to calibrate your thermometer if you want to calibrate this to match your digital meat probe. There's that. Take it out first. Also inside, you're going to see some other stuff. This is our slotted 10 gauge cooking grate right here. This grate is the same size as the cooking grate in your Weber kettle, so it'll work in the drum and your Weber kettle or other 22.5-inch grate. We'll show you how to use this later. This is our super tuner baffle plate because you can tune it.
Let me see.
You can bend these little tabs and tune your airflow pattern.
You can just bend that with your hand?
Yep.
Dang, that is crazy.
And then the inside one you can bend it too. So that sits on top of the charcoal basket. That's going to keep the bottom of your food from burning. So we got these.
Are you saying Wes is going to burn his food?
He might the first time.
I'm not saying I haven't.
So we got these are your air inlets. These mount on the side. We call these uprights. If you get the Draftmaster kit or the Backyarder kit, you'll get these air inlets. There's a curve in this blade that fits the side of your drum whenever you mount this flange. And on the top side, you've got this here. And we got a blade that fell off of this. It's right here like that. And you just turn that, and that's how you control the temperature in your barrel.
Oh, nice.
Right there. So, and all this stuff bolts together, so you don't have to. Here's the other one. We give you 2.
So we're going to attempt to put this together in 1 hour.
1 hour.
I think we can do it.
Yeah, yeah. We used to set 10 and 15 of them up along the floor, and we'd get them all done in just, you know, a couple hours. Production. Anyway, this is your smokestack. It's 2-inch is what this hole is, 2-inch. We got a blade on it there that you control. You open and shut this here. Like if your cooker overshoots temp, you close this down a little bit, about half. That's all it's for, is just keeping it from going over. And then it's got a bolt together flange also. And then this is our new extended reach lid handle. So we're going to put a spring and a rod and all this stuff in here, and we bolt it to the top of the lid. But what happens is, a lot of times when these guys are opening their lid when they got a hinge on the back, if they have to reach up here, they burn their arm up in here. So we put this handle on there, and then now you can lift it like this here.
And a little more leverage.
A little more leverage. And then if you're got a reach problem, you can lift up like this to shut it with the hinge. Then we give you all the nuts and bolts. This is all stainless steel, and you'll see there'll be a couple of different kinds of things. Like here's some little drill point screws.
Yeah.
Here's your long bolts for the cooking racks. They're all in the bag. And then this charcoal basket here is our premium charcoal basket. We have several different ones. This is the one that Wes got. We laser cut out this pattern because expanded metal's sharp, and we don't want nobody getting cut. But it's got plenty of room for ash on the bottom and for airflow to come in. And then your charcoal sits in the top of this here.
How much you think that'll hold?
About 15 pounds.
You're kidding?
Yeah, 15 pounds of brick, or more briquettes, probably.
That's like a, what, a 10, 12, 13 hour burn depending on the temperature.
We've had longer than 20.
Jesus.
20 hours is typical. And then we got these funny looking things. There's 3 of these in there. So these pieces are going to go together. And if you look, there's round holes in the bottom. This is a heat shield, but it's also an air diverter. So this is going to help control your airflow that comes inside for your combustion air. It's going to be distributed evenly around these holes before it goes to your charcoal basket. We'll show you how to put that together here in just a minute. First thing you got to do is find center. We've already done that on this drum, but every barrel's got this seam right here. And what we try not to do is put the seam and the thermometer across from each other, because if that's the case and you put 4 rack bolts in, you're going to have to drill a hole through that seam. We want that to be offset like that. So what we did, well, the camera wasn't on, somewhere on here.
Right there.
We took a T-square and put against the bottom of the barrel, and we marked our 2 center lines, height-wise here. That's what we're going to use when we lay out the holes on the barrel.
So what you're saying is find your center and then offset that back seam to, like, if this is 6 o'clock, your seam is going to be at like
off to here
11 o'clock.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
Just to make it easy so you don't wind up drilling holes through that seam. So the other thing you want to look at, we buy these barrels straight from the manufacturer, but the way they handle the barrel in their plant, to them it's just a barrel. This is not a cooker to them. And so they fling these barrels across the floor if you ever watch them do it, and you'll get scratches and some dents. Even on brand new barrels, it's unavoidable. So you want to look at the barrel and make sure if there's any big dents in it also before you lay out. And we really don't have any. It's just a matter of just avoiding that seam like we did a minute ago. And there's our 2 marks.
All right, so this is the template that comes with the kit if you buy the barrel, right?
Right, yeah. If you buy a barrel, we throw this template in the box. If you don't want to buy the barrel, let us know. We'll sell you one.
And it's got, the thing I love about it, it's got the center line marking right here. You can barely see it, but it says, you know, here's a 1/4 inch for the rack mount. Here's where the thermometer goes. Here's where another rack mount hole goes. Another one. And then I noticed you got writing on here upside down. Is that for flipping it over and doing the bottom?
Yeah, so we didn't want to get you confused with all these holes on here. We wanted it to make sense. So yeah, this end up for cooking rack mounts, this end up for your air inlet holes.
Okay.
And you know, there's like we always tell you, there's no perfect science. These things don't matter where they go. Just so the air inlet hole's at the bottom and the exhaust is at the top, you'll be fine.
Yeah.
But this is a good way to do a really good uniform installation of this stuff. Depending on accessories, you might want these to be closer to or farther apart.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, that's about as easy as it gets, man.
But if this is your first one, that's the way to start.
All right, so you got your center right there.
Here's the center line. We took a T-square and laid on the end of this barrel.
Yep.
Straight up and down, and then we just made these two marks like that.
And you can mark this whole thing if you wanted to.
Oh, yeah.
You guys have
Draw
done enough
a
of
line all
these,
the way
you know
through.
exactly how to do it. So,
well, ultimately, sometimes we wind up we want to see the steel, and so we don't want to have a big old black mark through there to sand off. So we just got used to doing it this way. The paint might cover it. So Tom is lining that center line up, and it's important.
yeah, you can see it right there. The camera, yeah, you can see it.
When you line it up, it's important that the top of this does not go up under the flange. You want to make that lined up like that.
Yep. All right.
And then what we usually do is make sure this is lined up and just kind of hold it. That's what Tom's doing. And it's real simple. You're just doing a center hole. You don't need to make a big, huge mark. Just make the center. And then hold one hand on like Tom did, and then pull it around. And we're going to mark this one here. See, we can read the writing from the end we're working on, and we can't, that one's upside down, so we're not going to mark that one. Do-do-do-do. Okay, how's that go? Do-do-do-do. Now we're going to roll back the other way. This is why we can do this in an hour.
This is, golly, this is way easier.
Yep,
Man,
boom.
I've seen guys try to do these, and it's just, you got 50 holes in it, and then I go, what? Why do you have all them freaking nuts in there? And they have to put them in there to fill the hole.
Yep, we're repeating the same process.
Yep,
Tom,
there's the center.
over. Now, if you do this by hand without the template, from your center line, come over 10 inches, and then come up 3. And that's pretty darn close.
I like the template, though.
Makes it easy. There you go, we're marked.
That's it.
That's it.
That
we're done.
that's genius. That right there, it's worth buying the barrel just to get that thing.
Yeah, and you can use it as many times as you want. You know, it's just don't drill holes through it, and it'll stay calibrated. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to grab a 1/4-inch drill bit, and we're going to drill every single hole we just marked, because that 1/4-inch drill bit's going to get us the best starter hole for the different hole saws and stuff that we're going to use. Then we're going to come back in, like the thermometer hole and the air inlet holes, we're going to drill those with the correct size hole saw. After we're done with that, we're going to stand this thing up and we're going to mark out our lid holes. Okay, now we're going to use a 1 3/8 OD. That's the outside diameter of this hole saw. This is a real fancy one. It's got these carbide teeth on it.
Yeah, that
and
one's nice.
If you just get one from the lumber yard or whatever, like a Milwaukee or a Lennox, that's fine. Just make sure that the outside diameter for your air inlet holes is at 1 3/8.
So 1 3/8 for the air inlet holes. This is the bottom of the can right now. 1 3/8 holes.
You know, we didn't say nothing a while ago, but I got to talk for the YouTube police real quick. Make sure you got your safety glasses on, your OSHA vest, all the stuff, the earplugs. You know, you guys all understand that.
Yeah. Build these at your own risk. Golly, that thing is nice.
Now on the thermometer hole, that's the one that's directly below the cooking rack bolt. On the center, we got your rack mount bolt, and then we got the thermometer hole.
Yeah. So this one is this one right here, not this one. Not this one, this one.
Yeah. So what you're going to do, this thermometer we're going to send you has what's called a 1/2-inch pipe thread or 1/2-inch knockout size hole it requires. And you don't want to drill it too big, because if you drill this hole too big, that little shoulder won't catch it. And the second thing is this nut has to catch it too. So that size hole, just so you know, is exactly 7/8 of an inch outside diameter. We get this same bit. So if you buy a hole saw for it, get a 7/8. And that way that whenever the nut goes on the back, it won't fall through. See how it won't go through it?
Yeah.
So,
And make sure you drill the bottom hole.
Yeah, the bottom hole. Jeez, man, them are nice, dude.
Those
Them
are
are
nice.
real nice.
If you're like Tom, who owns stock in Milwaukee, you got every red tool there is known to man. What we like to do is on the inside, you're going to get a burr. These will be sharp, and we don't like to leave those sharps on there. So we try to take, this is a flap disc. You can use a file, whatever you got handy.
Just deburr it.
Yeah.
Now,
just
the
deburr
only
it.
reason the guard's off is so that you can see on the camera what's going on.
Yeah.
And Tom's got safety glasses.
You guys on here. So explain to me how you got this thing centered up, and you know that the hole here is centered with the hole here.
So what we did is we took a T-square and lined it up with the center of this hole. We made a straight up mark up here. That's where the top tab goes. And then we just marked this center hole, the center this way. So our flange, we know we can eyeball that and get that lined up center-wise, but it's a little less than an inch. It's like 7/8 of an inch from the bottom of here up.
Okay.
And then you just set that on there like that. And now this hole up here lines up right on our center line that we drew.
Boom.
Then all you got to do is mark those holes and drill them.
So pretty much all we're doing is just making sure that we have we're on center here, and it's straight up and down.
Yep. Make sure that this hole is centered on that.
Yeah.
And we're vertical.
Yeah.
That way it's not aimed in.
Easy enough. Then mark them and drill them.
Drill them.
All right.
And then it's likely that you might get your bit to walk a little bit, and then we just stick a bolt in the hole at the top first, and then do one down here, because if you need to waller the holes out, now's the time to do it.
And then you just repeat the same process on this side.
Yep.
All right, so what do we got next? We got everything drilled out, and by the way, this is looking good.
We took all the burrs off.
Yeah, that's.
You can't cut yourself.
you guys are a little less redneck than me.
Precision. Hey, so the next step is we're going to put this lid on there. We're going to mark out our holes for the smokestack and the lid handle.
All right.
So Tom already kind of made a mark here, but we're going to show you.
So you just
take your lid diameter and divide by 2. This is 23.5, so it's 11 3/4.
So 11 3/4, you're going to find the center, because this is where the smokestack is going to go on this one.
Yeah, and honestly, you can put this smokestack anywhere you want, depending on options, hinges, stuff, whatever you want to do. If you want your handle in the middle, put it off to the side, but we prefer to put it in the middle for airflow purposes. And anyway, it's real easy. You can just kind of tell how it's going to line up. There's an X in the middle of the hole. You just take the damper blade off, right?
I don't know if I can. The camera
Probably can't see it.
The camera's not grabbing that.
There's the hole first. The smokestack is going to be a bigger hole saw. This is a 2-inch OD hole saw. OD means outside diameter, so that's the right size you want to use for that. So get the right side. There it is. It says 2-inch on it.
We'll just
Probably can't see it.
No,
I'll
there's
take
no
my word for
way. This camera's good. It ain't that good.
Now you heard that thing go pop a minute ago. We just set him on here like this, and then Tommy will give him a little bit of a thud. Boom, there she is. So just like we did on the air inlets, where we set this on there, we're going to set this and line up 2 holes. First we're going to bore those out because they're a little bit tight. Just verify that our bolt holes line up by sticking a bolt in there, and you can kind of see they might need wallered out just a little bit. Now that you got your smokestack installed, the next thing you do is the lid handle. We're going to put this extended reach lid handle on there, and it's just a matter of eyeballing it to get it where you want it. But we put this radius on the front of this handle because at a certain spot or another, it lines up perfect with the radius on your drum lid.
I see that now.
Which will help you
with
line
this ring
stuff
right
up.
here.
And it doesn't matter. You can go in, out. It doesn't matter. Put it where it's comfortable for you.
Now, if that was me, I would put it right there.
Let's see. Right in here is about center with the line. So hold it back a little bit if you want for some leverage or whatever you want to do.
That looks good.
That's kind of how we do it.
Does that feel good?
Yep. even for this old colorblind guy.
She's all drilled.
So the next thing, we've got the entire barrel drilled. Every component has been lined up and pre-drilled and everything. So you'll probably want to remove the burrs off the bottom of the lid now. But you got two choices. We're either, if we're confident that everything's going to line up and bolt together and all that stuff, and you're wanting to paint this thing, then you would go ahead and prep it for paint. And you just follow the instructions on whatever kind of paint you're going to use. If it's high temp paint, a lot of them are going to tell you you don't need any kind of primer on it. You know, Rust-Oleum, for instance, is self-etching. But if you want to just bolt everything on there and just make sure everything fits and looks good, now's the time to do it before you paint. That way you can fix it if it's wrong.
All right, so now you get it bolted up. Are you crawling in there? Can you reach to the bottom?
Not it. First guy touches nose. Did you know if you say not it and you don't touch your nose, it don't work?
It doesn't count. So right now they're putting in the drape bolts, and you're gonna see a trick here. You gonna show them, Frank?
Well, he's gonna tighten first. Then
Okay.
we're gonna put the second one on.
So after they tighten them up, they'll actually put another nut. They'll double nut it, and this does two things. It actually, you know, holds these tight, but it also holds the grate and keeps the grate where you can spin it.
So we got that. These are flange nuts.
Yeah.
We got one on that way. We put the other one on backwards. So with some barrels aren't the same diameter, but with our barrels, that makes it where this rack fits perfect and it won't slide.
Ah.
See there? So when Uncle Kosmo tells you to turn your grate, you can turn your grate and it won't fall off.
There you go.
So,
that's nice.
So there's that. And the reason we send these bolts with it is because the heat shield, we're gonna have to drop that heat shield in here next. Well, we'll bolt the air inlets on first and we'll drop the heat shield in. And that heat shield fits past those. There you go, buddy. You want to get in the barrel?
Yeah.
I'll get in the barrel.
Get in the barrel. That'll be awesome. Will you fit?
I should.
Can you bend that way? It'll be hilarious.
I can. I'm limber.
We may need this information for later in case you step out of line.
That
You'll fit in a 55-gallon drum.
Yeah, I would for sure.
Box you up.
Especially not all in one piece. Telling stories over there.
Yep. Wes can reach to the bottom of that drum.
I can.
You got a mallet that hit the side when he's in there?
Yeah, ring his ears.
So one guy can't do both sides because his arms just won't reach.
You don't know my buddy Jeff.
No, he can.
Jeff could.
Couple bolts, 3.
He could get on his knees and do it.
So I would probably say if you were doing this with a buddy, this is a 12-pack job.
12-pack. Yeah, 6-pack maybe.
No, you
12-pack's better.
You got to make it last at least 12.
Oh, you have to make it last.
You never
12.
built anything with Kosmo.
Yeah, I don't think 6-pack. A 6-pack job is going to getting a 12-pack for the job.
Oh, gotcha.
I need 2 more.
These flange nuts have little gripper teeth, so you can all you really got to do is hold the inside nut long enough to get it started, and it'll grab the metal on the inside so that you can give her the tighten.
Nice. So these are the ones with the lock nuts.
Yep. And you just go kind of snug on them. So the blade moves. Because what I always had happen before I started using them, the nut would fall off and the blade would go off.
Okay.
Boom.
That's it.
Cool.
If I was building this, I'd be using a hammer. I'd guarantee it for something.
That's true.
It's a skinny jeans. You
These
didn't
aren't
have.
even, these aren't even skinny. What are you talking about?
Where'd you get them at?
Sweaty jeans, that's for sure.
Where'd you get them at?
I don't remember, man. I've had them a long time.
I'm glad to see
But
you.
what do you always say? Buy once, cry once? It's been a long time. You're distracting me from my work.
And once you paint, never tighten it on the outside. Always tighten it on the inside when it's painted. It'll scratch up the paint.
It's an ugly drum cooker. It doesn't matter anyways.
All right, fellas. So we're just going to illustrate how to put this handle together because this has to be painted before you assemble this part. So pretend that you got this handle in your hands. It's all painted. And before you bolt it on, you're going to put this is a stainless steel rod and a stainless steel spring. That's why we don't assemble it before it's painted. So you're going to shove this handle, this rod, up inside that spring handle, and it's going to collapse together like this and give you some room on both sides, if you see that there. We make these springs where it grabs. Then you're going to put it inside the handle like this. And it's nice to have a little bit of blue painter's tape, because what we do is we put this cap gets hammered on. Put this cap on there and you line it up on that rod, and you're going to put this tape on there like that to hold that in place. Now if this was in your hand, you would set it on a flat surface and give her a good whack with a hammer, and that's going to knock that cap on.
These are press fit.
Yeah, these are press fit. That's why we're not going to assemble it until he paints. Yeah. But anyway, so then you do the other side the same way. Put a little blue piece of painter's tape on there, give her a smack, and she's all together.
Easy enough, man. Easy enough. I did
Oh!
I noticed. So this, for me, and I would presume for you, I always have this swing where it swings away from me.
Wings open.
So I would put this on the other side. Wouldn't you?
Because if you lift up on the handle, then your damper blade's going to close, and when you close the lid, you're going to forget about it.
So that's a what not to do. Actually, we were joking around. We just did that, you know, as a joke. But seriously, don't put it on this way. This is what not to do. We're going to flip it around though.
Yeah, you want it to open when you lift the lid.
Yeah. Frank's going to put together the
heat shield.
The heat shield for inside there. So, I didn't know if you called it a heat shield.
Yeah.
I called it a heat shield. Or
it actually does two jobs. It's a heat shield, but it's also an air diverter. That's why it's got these holes at the bottom.
Yeah.
When our charcoal basket sits on the inside of this, and that baffle plate sits on top, the air has no choice but to go into those holes when it comes in the air inlet.
Yeah.
So we put this in 3 pieces, so it's easy to ship. But you just literally, this hole goes up and these holes go, line them up on the bottom. You just line them holes up.
So these little holes right here go to the bottom of the drum, just so everybody knows.
Yep. And we just put these bolts in there. I get them all done by hand, just finger tighten them. This piece will probably go in your drum once, and you probably won't take it out, but about every 3rd or 4th time you clean it.
Yeah.
On the last one, you might have a bit of a gap, but it bends around real easy and lines back up. That's our heat shield. There's an optional block-off plate you can get that goes in here, but you don't need it. And then here's our charcoal basket. It's going to sit on the inside of this.
What?
Now when this thing's in the barrel, after you get your fire lit, you set this charcoal in the bottom, charcoal basket in the bottom. This baffle plate sits right on top of this heat shield. This is our baffle plate. It's going to help us with evening out our temperature in the drum. We recommend that you take about your pinky finger, how wide your pinky is, use it like a gauge. You just bend these little tabs and stick your finger in it, you're good enough, like that, right? That's a good starting place. That's all it takes. We put these, if your fingers have trouble, we put these little slots in here so you can take a screwdriver and put in there if you need help. Now if you want to cook low and slow, you might leave these closed in the middle. It's completely up to you. This thing's going to give you some radiant heat, but it's also going to help with your temperature. But I recommend opening these about half that. Just a little bit is all it takes. It's 16 gauge, so it's not sharp. There you go. Now we have a tunable baffle plate. We call it the Super Tuner Baffle.
Perfect. That way if you open it, that falls away if it's loose. Yep. And when you put it back on, it's still on.
And you got to put this in before you put the thermometer on, because that long probe sticks through there and it'll hit. And you literally just pick this up and put it in here and work it in between those bolts. That sits in there like that. Hey, so now we got our heat shield in there. If you notice, there's a gap between the heat shield and the wall for what you just seen. Then you stick this charcoal basket down in there, just like that.
Boom.
Now we're going to put the heat shield in, or the block, or the Super Tuner baffle in. It sits in there like that. And we got to leave a little bit of a gap so it can pull in and out. Then you can put your thermometer in. If you're anything like me, I like to put 300 at the top.
That's exactly what I do. That way you can look out the door.
See that arrow's pointing straight up and down.
If it's at noon, I'm doing good. I cook at 300 though.
Yeah,
so
if you're a low and slow guy, put your favorite temperature up.
Yeah. So whatever temp you like to cook at, just put it at 12 o'clock out there.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's all right. Then we got the cooking grate, and just like we showed you a while ago, sits perfect in between these
boom
bolt heads. Now you can see how the baffle plate protects the bottom of your food from getting too much dead heat right on the bottom of it, and that juice that renders all Kosmos injection when it's rendering out of that butt, and all that flavor hits that baffle and vaporizes, where all the flavor comes from.
Well, bam. Well, that's it right there.
Put the handle in.
Took us a little longer than an hour, but we was also doing a lot of talking and a lot of BSing, so.
Supposed to be keeping time.
There you go.
Boom. What do you think? You like your new drum?
Hey, yeah.
Hey, wait a
Thanks,
minute.
man.
Hey, we got something here. Hang on. Okay, I gotta go over here and get it.
Oh yeah.
Don't forget, we brought you something.
That's right. So, what is that?
All right, hang on. We got you bubble wrap.
Bubble wrap.
No, actually, hang on. That's part of it.
Okay.
Okay, you ready? You want to open it or you want me to open it?
That's nice. That's nice. Go ahead. I'll run the camera.
We can put that one on right.
Dang. That's pretty. That's shiny, shiny black. Son! Look at that!
Ready for the best part?
Yeah. That, come on now. That is freaking cool. That is the best looking can I've ever seen in my life. And I'm not saying that just because it's got my logo on it.
High temp black ceramic paint.
Yeah.
So we're guaranteed not to rip, strip, tear, run down your paint leg. 35 years. And these are the little hold down tabs we gonna bolt on there.
Nice.
That way you don't have to put no holes in your drum. We came up with this cart because so many guys drill holes in their barrels and then they wind up with grease leaking on the driveway and mama gets mad and we just don't want to go there. So we made this cart, that way it's sturdy as all get out. And you ain't gonna drip no grease.
Well, I tell you what I like about it is when I'm cooking out behind my on my shop porch, I can roll it out to the edge, and then when I'm done, I can bring it back in under cover.
So check it out. Jason Whitcomb down in Florida, we use his hinge. That's the Unknown barbecue stainless hinge, best hinge on the market.
Dang. Let's see inside that sucker.
Okay, we don't have the guts in it yet, but we do. We actually have the grate in there.
Got the grate in there. So hey man, I want to thank everybody for watching. I want to thank these guys from, is it Smoker? You tell them. How can everybody get a hold of you?
Go to smokerbuildermfg.com. That's how you get a hold of this stuff. And hey, if you need support with our products or you have questions about installation or anything, you just want to talk to Frank and Tom, the easiest way to get a hold of us is go to that website, hit the message button at the bottom, or look at the contact form. You get a hold of us there.
And we're going to have the links down below. And guess what? This month's giveaway, we're going to actually give away this cooker, correct?
This exact can, yeah.
So you can win this can.
We're making another one. This is Kosmos. We got another one here at the shop. We're gonna give away that cooker, yep.
So we're gonna have all the links down in the description, the giveaway, how you can get a hold of these guys, and how you can win this can. Hey, I want to thank everybody for watching, and as always, man, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to smash that subscribe button and ring that bell so you don't miss a thing, and we'll catch you in the next video. Peace!
See ya!